Hello and welcome to the last optional Zoom of the semester for FTVE 16. I, of course, am Tim. I got a smudge right there. It's bugging me. Oh, I just made it worse. Hmm. I got a piece of fabric. All right. Okay, I think I fixed it. All right. Okay, sorry. Would have bugged me the whole time. I probably should restart, but whatever. We're into it. End of the semester, one more week. I hope you all are doing well, and I know there's a fair amount of anxiety about finals, and that's why I'm here to make it as easy as possible for you. Lizeth is here in the chat. You don't have to say anything, but I will be awarding you 20 points extra credit just for coming to the optional Zoom. So shout out right there. I want to say if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to write in the chat or ask me while I'm talking. Otherwise, I'm going to get started. And anybody who joins, same goes for you, but you're not hearing it right now. You're probably watching the recording. So let's talk about the three most important things. We want to talk about final project, final exam, and of course, final extra credit opportunity. Let's start with the extra credit opportunity. If you did not come to our spring showcase and earn the 200 extra credit points that a lot of your fellow classmates did, the 200 extra credit points mean you don't even have to take the final if you have all the points and everything else. But I wanted to give the opportunity to those who couldn't attend for whatever reason. So I just posted in the announcements the final extra credit opportunity, which I will share right now. I'm going to share my screen. Let's go here. We're going to go to we're going to go right here to our, oops, that's a secret. I don't want you to see that. That was the final. All right, don't go back and pause it to see one question. But here, we look in our announcements for the class. And here's the final extra credit. I just posted it. If you didn't attend, you can get credit. If you attended and got extra credit already, thank you. But you can't earn more this way. But first and foremost, come here, click this link. It's going to take you to our student 2026 student showcase. You have to watch all an hour and 14 minutes of these student films, which include this alien. Partner, Ali Ed. Here's an alien. All right. This is on Vimeo. Let's see. Here's Dew. Look, there's a whole thing about a guy is in a pool of Mountain Dew. There's Phil. There's silly pranks. We got some fun movies here, funny stuff. So how do I get the extra credit, Tim? Well, great question, Tim. For the extra credit, you have to watch all the films and then write me an email. And first of all, you got to do two things. You got to tell me what class you're in, because I'm offering this extra credit in multiple classes. So please just tell me I'm an FTVE 16 student. And these are my three favorite films. And you give me a substantial response about each one and why they're your favorite. What did you like? What actors? What did you think was funny? What shots were good? Was it exciting? Did it make you cry? All of the stuff that we've been talking about here in this class. Give me substantial responses on those three, and you can earn up to 100 points extra credit. If you write me one sentence, I liked Dew because of Mountain Dew, I'll probably give you 10 points. Prove to me that you watched it and that you enjoyed it. I think our film programs are really great. And I think that if you're interested, you watch these, it's hard not to watch these and want to come and make movies with us. We have a lot of excellent filmmaking classes this coming semester. So if you are interested at all, message me and I'll tell you what classes to join because we have a lot of fun ones. All right, you could earn up to 100 points. That's half what the people who came to the showcase were possibly earned. Also, if you were like, Tim, I went to the showcase, I really want more extra credit. Go back and read, let's go back and read this announcement then. I offered a fair amount of extra credit here, right? All right. let's see. Can't go back. Presentations. The Oscars. Queer. All right. I am going to go ahead and say, let's do this. Thought I had already posted it, my mistake, but let's go ahead here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to click on here and I'm going to go on my playlist. And my playlist is going to be right here. And I want to share this playlist. All right. I want my playlist. All right. Open link in Chubb. Okay. Playlist. FTVE News.
Hey, what's up? We're Gap TV.
Let's go ahead. We are going to go ahead and I am going to add this here to the announcements. Let's go ahead and make a quick edit. All right. Just say here, we're going to make a link for this external link. Okay, so what you can do is click this link and watch our Gav TV, Gav TV News here. Let's remove the link. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, here. All right, there we go. So if you already saw the showcase, you can go ahead and watch the Gav TV News. I'm going to update this. And you can earn up to 10 points per Gav TV News you watch. You have to email me and tell me what you thought of it. Substantial responses. So click right here. It's going to take you to the playlist and you'll see.
Hey, what's up? We're Gap TV.
You'll see Pie Day, where it's a bunch of people getting hit in the face with pies. And then you can just go down and only things from this semester will count. FYI. All right. That was extra credit. I'm assuming there's no questions, so let's stop the share. All right. For your final projects, I hope you all have had plenty of opportunities to talk about your and look at examples in the other optional Zooms. I showed you examples. I just was here to make sure that you know what's expected of you. You can make any type of video. It can be any type of format. You just have to edit it and turn it in. I know I don't expect you to be master editors. In fact, if you are interested, FTVE 43 is our editing class, and I teach that. So recommend signing up for that next semester. The other thing that the projects should just be fun, and I'd like you to share them with me, and I love to watch your movies. You have just a week. You have up until most importantly, too, that you know any assignments and your final, you have up until the very last day of the semester in order to get credit. So in order to get credit, you can turn up until Friday at 5 p.m. Okay, please note that this is the 1 week that things are different than the rest of the semesters. Usually Sunday by midnight, is the last turn-in day, but the semester officially ends at 5 p.m. on Friday, the 22nd. So anything turned in after that date, I can accept. It has to be submitted through Canvas. And if you email me and say, I'm so sorry, Tim, I can't input it. I get audited and they see that I'm giving points for things that aren't accountable for. That's just how the system works. So use the opportunity, use the rest of this week, and use all of the next week that you want to. Now I'm going to say that with the note that also so that's for your final project. If there's any questions here, I got 2 viewers now. Any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat or concerns. I'll answer at any point. The other thing that I would like to say is your final is going to open on Monday. Monday morning, the final will open. You can take it. My finals, I'm happy giving you a second opportunity. So if you didn't like your first score on the final, you can always take it a second time. Please note, let's say I took the final and I got 90% on it. And I'm like, I could do better. And I take it a second time. And the second time I got 87% on it. Well, I don't have the opportunity of choosing 90 over 87%. You're stuck with your second attempt. And I will also tell you that the questions and the answers randomize every time you take it. So question 1 could be question 30 and the answer could be A the first go round and it could be B the second go around. And what does that mean? Just the correct answer will be the same. So it's like, what is Tim's favorite color? Orange would always be the right answer, but orange might be A the first time, and the second time you take it might be D. The questions and the answers randomized just so you can't, so people can't cheat and just be like, oh, the answer is A, B, C, boar, boar, what's boar? Blue, not even a letter. Okay, so if that makes sense. Are there any mandatory assignments that we have to submit to pass the class? Or just as long as you get a passing score overall? Yeah, just as long as you get the score. You don't even have to take the final. If you went to the showcase and got the 200 points, you can say, I don't need the final, right? But it's all about a math thing, right? It's all about figuring out the score. And let's go over that again. I have this in here. So I make this easy for the class, or at least I think it's easy. You could disagree, but in order to earn these scores, so 92 to 100% to get that A, well, your class is out of 1,000 points. So if you have 920 points, you get an A, right? But if you have 9,199 points, that puts you in the A minus category. Make sense? So you can go to your class grades right now and look and see at your total points and see, oh shoot, I only have this. Note that you any missing points don't get added in. So for example, it might say like, oh, you have an A out of this many points, but go by the number. So if you have 640 points, I realized I just did the math wrong when I was saying, if you had 919 points, that would give you an A minus. If you had 920, that gives you an A. Okay. Hope that, sorry, didn't mean to be confusing. But to go back, if I go and look and I have 640 points, well, I can look and say, oh, 640 falls in here into the D category. Okay, so what can I do? Well, I haven't taken my final yet. That's a possible 200 points. So you can say, okay, I'm going to take the final. I get 150 more. That takes me up to 790. So 790, oh, I'm at a C plus now. So what can I submit? And remember, I accept all work up until 5 p.m. on Friday. I'll grade anything. Even if you want to go back and adjust something to get a higher score, I accept that. So if you're missing projects, if you didn't do your presentation, absolutely, I would, if you're trying to figure out how can I how can I get the best grade possible? I would focus on the presentations and the projects, which are high value items. You know, the presentation was what, like 100 points. The final project's 150 points, and the final is 200 points. So that's a significant portion of your grade. And of course, I did talk about extra credit opportunities to make up for areas where you might have lost some. Okay. Feel free to ask more questions as it comes along. Also, I'm going to just, how long will the final be? Is it all multiple choice? Great. Let's get into that right now. Now, I'm not going to share my screen because I'm actually going to look at the final. I don't want you to see it. So when you log into the final, which it will be released on Monday morning, it's worth 200 points. You have 90 minutes to take it. And you get 2 attempts. Okay. It's going to release, it'll be available May 17th at midnight, or more. What's the 1 second after midnight? Whatever that is. May 17th, you can access it until May 21st. Okay, so that's a Thursday. So the final closes on Thursday at midnight. So you have until Thursday to finish, because Friday is graduation. All right. And how many questions are there? Great question. Let me go ahead and preview our thing. We can go through and talk about it. All right, there are 50 questions. Each are worth 4 points, so 200 points possible. Okay. 50 points, 200 points possible. And it's going to include a lot of things from our class. Lots of things we talked about, and also lots of things we read. So I'm just going to go over some areas that you also just note it's an open book final. I will tell you, though, that it does get sketchy if you click off of it. So I really recommend, if you're doing a 2-screen experience. So taking the final on your computer and using your phone to read your Canvas if you want to go and review answers, totally optional. I also encourage, you can, if you have a group or a friend you want to take the final together, I'm fine with that. Just note that your final is going to look different than your friend's final. So you'll have different questions, like your number 1 question might be someone else's 50 question. And the way the answers are ordered randomizes. All right. Question can be about anything from look at the filmmaking terms. That's on the very first day. That gives you a lot of information. And filmmaking, we talk about lighting. There's 3 types of light: the key, the background, and the fill. What's the definition of the 180-degree rule? It's a way that we film something. We talked about it, where the subjects have to stay on, the camera must stay on one side of its subjects, or else the viewers will get disoriented. What was the most watched telecast of all time? That, of course, is the Super Bowl. Then we go through what not one of the options of the documentary you could have watched. I would recommend choosing the answer that is not a documentary. So that's always a good indicator. What was one of the PSAs that you were showed in class? And then I list a couple of different ones that we watched in class. What is considered the first 3-camera comedy? We should all know I Love Lucy at this point. What show first involved bringing the 4th camera, or the D camera? Talked about that with Mork and Mindy, because Robin Williams is so frenetic. He ran around the stage. We watched clips of Mork and Mindy. What is not one of the benefits of the 3-camera comedy? 3-camera comedy, of course, they were easier and faster to edit. They were cheaper to shoot. Continuity was not an issue, and there were fewer lighting setups. So those were all the benefits. What you got to figure out which one's not that. I didn't say it because I didn't want to give you the answer. What is not true about single camera comedies? Um, they don't have true. What is not true? Well, here's all true things. Um, um, there are no limits on locations. They can be a lot more like movies. They can break the fourth wall, and they don't have live audiences. And I just spoke about breaking the fourth wall. What does it mean to break the fourth wall? Well, that's what I'm doing to you right now. I'm looking into the camera and talking to you. When a character looks into the camera, like Ferris Bueller, they acknowledge the audience and they break the fourth wall. Got to know what three camera comedies I showed you and pick out ones that aren't three camera. You should know the difference between three camera and not. A talking headshot or a confessional. We know what this is. It's in the it's an interview. It's when an actor talks to the camera, interview style, often giving exposition dump. You think about The Office when Pam and Jim sit and are interviewed by the documentary. That's a talking head. You got to know the single camera comedies. Which one do we show in class? Single cameras, of course, are like Modern Family or The Office, Malcolm in the Middle. Um, uh, yeah, good examples of all of those. Um, what was the first traditionally animated film that we watched? That was Phantasmagoria. That was really cool. What was the first animated film with sync sound? We should know that. We see it at the beginning of most Disney films. That's Steamboat Willie. What was the first animated show on television? Um, that was Mighty Mouse. um, what was the first animated TV show in prime time? That was the Flintstones. Remember, we saw them smoking as well. What was the first stop motion show on television? We watched Gumby. Gumby was the green guy, remember? The claymation. Got to know what's animated and what's not, and they trick you and try to tell you, hey, which one's not an animated show? Um, what animated show used to be made just a week before it aired? That was South Park, where we looked at the documentary 6 Days to Air, the making of a South Park episode. What's the longest running television show ever? That's The Simpsons, right? Animated as well. Which is, you got to know about the Flintstones. What's a serialized drama, and what's an episodic drama? Got to review that. Um, what were the categories for your presentations? There were two, right? Um, actually three. You could do comedy, drama, or an animation. So three options. Um, what was what was the earliest reality show where we caught people doing funny things? We watched Candid Camera, right? Um, yeah, 1 second, please. I'm getting knocked on the door. Age, hold on. Yeah, of course. I saw your text. Sorry, I'm talking. You're good. Otherwise, you're good. Okay, cool. Good. Okay, thank you. Awesome. All right. Sorry about that. Uh, the other thing, sorry, got distracted, but it's all right. We're here in the TV studio. We had a student come by. Um, right. Survivor was a reality show that's in its 50th season. What is it called when the subjects are interviewed in the reality show? Those are confessionals. Um, uh, Survivor is in its um, is in its 50th season. So better know that. Season 50 is pretty good too. I'm watching it right now. Um, so let's go. Uh, Okay. Let me just double check this. Just noticed a mistake, so I wanted to make sure it's correct. Right there. All right, sorry about that. I just wanted to fix this so that we're good. All right, let's update that question. Cool. All right. All right. What's my favorite reality TV program? Actually, is Survivor. What is not one of the live shows I asked you to watch on YouTube? What was not one of the live shows? All right, hold on. I gotta update this. Published. Uh-oh, am I in the wrong one? All right, let's go save. Save. The saver cancel. Okay. Save. All right, let's preview that. All right, let's go back. All right. What different categories of live television? Of course, there's sports and news, um, and entertainment. Uh, how has news on television evolved from years to the present? Yeah, well, we talked about that in my last lecture. Which one of these does not use humor to give the news? Um, it's depends your sense of humor, but Anderson Cooper is a real journalist that doesn't tell jokes. The main shot on the set and scene and sh- uh, and shows the location is establishing shot. The host of Survivor, you should know, is Jeff Probst. Which one's not a single camera comedy, which is not a reality program? Um, uh, what three camera comedy do we show the behind the scenes of? Um, when a show suddenly loses its peel, it jumps the shark. Um, the British episodic drama we watched in class was Black Mirror, of course. Um, which ones incorporate talking heads or confessionals? You should know. The Social Experiment from England that we watched part of was Seven Up. Remember, we checked out the set every 7 years. They checked in with these people. Um, there's cliffhangers, which are at the end of serialized drama to get people to come back. Um, Hanna-Barbera is the company that brought us the Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, and the Jetsons. What's the show that the first show the husband and wife sleeping together in the same bed? Um, we watched. Had you watched some stuff on YouTube? You should be able to know which ones. So, uh, my Survivor, and of course, what's one way you can earn extra credit and still do in this class? You can watch Gap TV news segments. Um, and yeah, that's going to be it. Any questions? That's going to pretty much be the review. I kind of gave you a good way to study for the test and kind of give you things that I think are going to be on the test without giving you all the answers correct. So are there any other questions from the people here in the Zoom? Otherwise, I'm going to just end it and we'll call it a day. I'm gonna give plenty of time for thoughtful questions, but otherwise, that's the review of the final. Thank you so much for taking this class. I hope you got out of it. It's a lot of watching, I know, and a lot of listening to me talk about things to watch, but it is really important to know where all this starts, where all the content started, because we are consumers of content, and knowing the history really does enhance the experience. And I hope you consider taking filmmaking classes in the future at Gavlin and come here and check out our TV studio. This is the control room I'm in right now. And in fact, ooh, looky, I'm gonna let's spin us around and show us the control room. Whoa. And while I'm at it, let's just give you a tour of the TV studio since we're here right now. But we have our really cool TV studio, which is right here. You can see we have a set. We got all these cool lights, like an actual sound stage. We were attempting to shoot a 3-camera sitcom. You can see our 50s diner set. But the TV studio, you can see all our cool lights and everything. You know, there's the key, the fill, and the backlighting. And yeah, and that's where I was up in the control room. So great. Well, I'm going to call it a day and I'll post this as soon as possible. And as always, if you have any at all questions, feel free to reach out to me. But remember, you need to turn everything in by Thursday at midnight would be the best bet. I would say don't wait till the end. Turn everything in by Thursday at midnight. That's when the final closes. So great job.